3814 Mount Everest in San Diego. This is Ian. Going to go ahead and do a quick inspection. I'm already on the roof. Underneath the eaves looks really good. What I can see from the ground looks really good. This is what we call an architectural asphalt shingle. Life expectancy is approximately 30 years. I would guess that this is in the 10 to 15 year mark, somewhere around there. I don't know if you can make it out in the video, but back here on the west side of the roof, where it does get a lot of sun exposure and it's got a little bit more wear and tear than on the front of the home, we do just start to see a little bit of shine around the edges of the shingles, and that's typical wear and tear. Basically, it's the fiberglass becoming exposed, and over the years, over the next 10 to 15 years, that'll get really bad, and then at the 25 to 30 year mark, it'll be time to replace this roof. But all indications are that this roof was installed professionally. The valleys look good, the ridge looks good, the shingle spacing, the stagger all looks good. I don't see any nails or coming through the shingles. I don't see any fundamental issues with this roof. This valley looks good over here. It's what we call a California valley. It's very typical here in California. It's overlapped the right way. The roof appears to only have one layer, meaning they didn't cover up a bunch of old garbage when they put this roof on. This roof, that vent was reused when this roof went on. Those are really old and should have been replaced. It's probably the hood vent for the kitchen, most likely is my guess. The roof could use a tune-up. We do have 3 heat vents, and so these vents right here, they have that kind of style cap on them, allow for hot air and gases to escape the house. What is that for? That's for the furnace. That's for the water heater, and so a typical home will only have 2 of these. That one's newer, which means most likely one of these can be deleted. This one is made out of asbestos. I can tell by it's what we call an asbestos flue, and it is, I'm guessing that the furnace was relocated at some point, and so chances are this one can be deleted. If we do delete it, we can find a shingle that matches pretty well. I doubt anyone will ever notice if we patch in a few shingles to get rid of that guy right there. The roof could use a tune-up. We reseal all of these penetrations. We delete that guy. You currently have 2 whirlybirds. They're both working properly. Nothing wrong with those. We don't use them nowadays, but those are still perfectly acceptable. Ridge caps look fine. The only real issue I found on this roof is this chimney cap. And believe it or not, chimney cap is not typically included in a roof. We got a whole bunch of cracking going on. The simplest way is just to hit this all with some caulking, and nobody will ever see it. I guess the more extensive solution would be to chip away all the broken stuff and re-mortar the cap of this chimney. And then the flashing down at the bottom should have been replaced the last time it was roofed. Looks like it was reused. So yeah, very tough to say if there's any active leaks caused from any of this, but this looks a little funky, partly because the chimney has seen better days. A lot of the grout work on the chimney is in rough shape, and so as roofers, we're not masons. This is more of a mason trade, but we get into it from time to time, and so we do offer small kind of repairs on a chimney. And then obviously we do replace this type of flashing down here at the bottom. I like the fact that that dish is mounted to the fascia and not through the roof. That's a good sign. So again, I like this roof. I think you got lots of good years left out of this roof. Just a tune-up and some new flashing around the chimney and some new mortar on the top of the chimney should make this roof last another 15 plus years.